Good evening, Tallahassee. This is your FSU Weather Podcast. Okay, here we are. It is so good to see you guys. My name is Morgan Krause, and I am your student meteorologist today. We're going to be going through a bit of the weather situations that we have, looking at Doak Campbell Stadium. It is a little bit cloudier than usual. It's a really pretty sunset. As it goes with the daylight saving, you do have to deal with that. Tonight it is going to be 73, a little bit of wind coming up, and you'll see what kind of impact that's going to have as we move forward. Into tomorrow, our high is still going to be 78, so we're going to cool it down a little bit with those heavy thunderstorms. The wind is going to be coming from the east. It's going to raise just a little bit. And looking into our day planner tomorrow, we do have our rain chances increasing as we go through the day, the highest at noon, so make sure that you are bringing your umbrellas with you. And this week on FSU Weather, happy Election Day. It is our Spotlight City, New Orleans, and Tropical Storm Raphael. All this and more on FSU Weather. All right, y'all. Looking into our local radar right now, we do have some showers coming up into the coast a little bit. We're going to touch on that a little bit more, but like I said, make sure that you bring those umbrellas with you as you prepare for tomorrow. And currently we're sitting at an 84 in Tallahassee, the high for the region, as is usual. It's looking like, and a little bit cooler in the coast towards Apalachicola. And this is crazy. We broke our record today at 89 degrees for our high. On average, we're at a 76, so that is wild. I am a little bit thankful that we're not hitting that 30-degree low, though, so there are still things to be thankful for. We are going to be experiencing some late showers, so like I said, make sure that you bring those umbrellas with you, especially as we get into the later after 2 a.m. range today, and that wind will be increasing, so expect it to feel a little bit chilly. And in Tallahassee, we are still sitting at that 76 tonight. Like I said, the temperature is going to drop as we get a little bit more showers coming through. So looking into our week ahead, tomorrow it is going to be a 100% chance of rain. So like I said, make sure that you are preparing for that situation. There is going to be a tropical storm coming, and we will touch on that a little bit more, which might increase these precipitation percents as we move through the week. But going into it, we have Thursday and Friday still got that rain, and it's going to slowly dwindle off, and it's actually going to come back a little bit on Monday. So make sure that you are preparing for that. But we do have high temperatures in that precipitation, so we're going to expect a little bit of a higher humidity. It's going to be pretty comfortable, but like I said, maybe wear your hair up, bring an umbrella, anything like that. So now we are going to move it over to Ayana with our lifestyle.
Thanks. So looking at campus right now, I mean, we've got pretty much a lot of clouds everywhere. Including Doak Campbell Stadium, and for tonight's forecast, it is going to get a little bit colder, but it's going to be a little bit more of a slower pace, only getting down to 75, so still fairly warm temperatures, but keep a lookout for that if you plan on going out tonight. And then also we're looking at 72 for the temperature tonight. Also, if you are planning on maybe having a sleepover or something in the morning, you might expect some showers past that 1 a.m. mark. So look out for that in case you end up staying out. And then for walking your dog, definitely bring an umbrella or a jacket or something like that, because you're going to see showers a lot tomorrow. 74 degrees at 7 a.m. and then bumping up to 77 by 11. And then if you plan on also heading to the pool, I probably wouldn't advise that because we're going to see some thunderstorms, and it's not a great idea to go and try and tan tomorrow. But we will still be looking at those warmer temperatures, 78 at noon and as well as at 3. And then for Shell Point Beach, it is looking really beautiful. Look at that sunset. I mean, I think that with daylight savings, we're getting even more beautiful sunsets at this time of night, so it is really nice to see. But we're looking at 84 degrees, partially cloudy skies. And then for the weekday here in Tallahassee, we are going to see some showers on Wednesday, like I said, and then again on Thursday, some thunderstorms. bumping up to 82 degrees, and then 85 for the weekend. It's going to kind of clear out for us here in Tallahassee. And now we're going to look at New Orleans for this week. Right now we're looking at 67 degrees, partially cloudy, and it's kind of clear in this picture. So we're looking at a beautiful sunset as well. New Orleans is going to be really beautiful today, but as we look into further this week, we are going to see some showers. Obviously, right now for this for the day planner, we're going to see nice temperatures, no clouds really in the sky, and 84 degrees by 5 p.m. But we will see showers due to tropical storm Raphael towards this weekend, so definitely keep an eye out for that. We're going to see showers pick up on Friday and then intensify on Saturday. Given like what is going on with the storm, keep an eye out on how that's going to look for you guys, and stay safe if you plan to stay in New Orleans for that. Now I'm going to head things over to Sloan to look at Florida.
Yes, thank you, Ayana, for that look at New Orleans. Now we're going to take things a little bit closer to home and take a look at some of our favorite Floridian cities. So this is kind of the calm before the storm. We are going to be experiencing a cold front coming into Florida, which is going to have a whole bunch of rain associated with it. But for now, it's looking pretty nice. As we can see, daylight savings is making it just a little bit darker. So in Orlando, it's already starting to get a little bit dark, but it is going to be 79, so pretty warm for your Tuesday night. So as we look at the current temperatures kind of all across Florida, we can see right now it is pretty warm, 84 in Tallahassee, one of the highest points on the map. But yeah, it's feeling kind of like summer. It's still in the low 80s, so that's definitely pretty nice, but we will, like I said, be experiencing a little bit of that cold front that's coming in to the region. So as we look at Pensacola throughout the next 3 days, beautiful view here in Pensacola, but for Wednesday and Thursday, we are going to be experiencing some rain, unfortunately, so if you do have any sort of plans Wednesday and Thursday, definitely make sure to bring an umbrella like we've said before. So really just kind of be aware of that rain that's coming in. However, as we can see, the temperature is going to start to dip on Wednesday. It's not even going to reach 80 degrees tomorrow. So it's a little bit of a cold front coming in, like I said, but again, that's going to be a little bit of a reprieve from those really nice hot temperatures that we've been experiencing. But as we look into Orlando, kind of the same story for our next 3 days. So Wednesday, it's going to be another rainy day. So if you have any sort of plans in Orlando, definitely just make sure to, again, bring that raincoat. Just be prepared for any sort of conditions that you might experience on Wednesday. But luckily, as we move into the rest of the week, we can see that our rain chances are just going to drop. So if you do have any plans, maybe Thursday or Friday, just be a little bit more prepared for maybe a little bit more of a sunny day. Still a little bit of clouds, but really nice, 85, 86 degrees if you do have any sort of plans. As we look into our rainfall forecast, again, this is going to be kind of what we've been experiencing, a little bit of rain kind of throughout the entirety of Florida. As we can see, as we go a little bit more north into the southeast, there's going to be quite a bit more rain. We can expect in the Big Bend region 1.5 to 2.5 inches. That's more rain than we've been experiencing for the entirety of the month. We haven't had rain in Florida for about an entire month, so it's definitely going to be a very much needed rain. But again, if you are in that Big Bend region, if you are in Tallahassee, just definitely make sure to stay on the lookout for those rain conditions, because again, we could be getting 1.5 to 2.5 inches, which is pretty wild. We also do have, kind of moving into tonight, a little bit cooler temperatures. It's going to be a little bit of a rainy night, like Ayana kind of mentioned. So here in Tallahassee, definitely just make sure to stay on the lookout for those rainy conditions. It's going to be a little bit rainy kind of all across the state of Florida. As we can see in the south part of Florida, it's also going to be experiencing a little bit of rain as well. So just, again, be prepared for that. And then tomorrow it is, again, going to be really pretty rainy. So if you have any plans tomorrow, be prepared for that. It's going to be 79 in Tallahassee, so a little bit cooler than we've lately been experiencing, but again, a whole lot of rain kind of all across the region as we kind of prepare for Tropical Storm Raphael. There's just going to be a lot of moisture in the air, and also along with that cold front as well, just kind of bringing in all those rainy conditions. So now kind of zooming out and looking at the entirety of the United States, we can see there's a lot of variety kind of all around the U.S. It's going to be pretty cold up in these northern regions. Salt Lake City, 38 degrees, almost reaching freezing for our high. So it's going to be definitely cold for you guys up north, but luckily down here in Florida, we're staying pretty nice and warm like we've just talked about. But a lot of very different conditions really all across the United States. As we can see, very different dew points as well. It's going to be really dry over here in the west, as well as just kind of the whole Midwest region. So definitely bring your chapstick. Just be ready for those drier conditions if you do live in the Midwest, if you live in the west. But again, we're having a whole bunch of moisture again, mostly due to that tropical storm Raphael that's going to be we're going to be able to be experiencing it down here in Florida. So really pretty varying levels of dryness all across the nation. But as we've kind of talked about, we're going to be experiencing a whole bunch of rain down here in the southeast. Also going closer to Texas, we're going to be experiencing as well some rain. So it's really pretty different all across the nation. But again, like we've kind of talked about, if you're closer to here, if you're in the southeast, if you're anywhere in Florida, just watch out for that rain. Like we've kept on saying, as we look into some of our temperatures, it's going to be a little bit hotter than normal, a little bit hotter than what you'd normally be expecting over here on our east coast, as well as kind of into Florida. But it's going to be a little bit cooler than you'd normally expect as we go onto our west coast, towards California and things like that. So definitely just watch out for that. However, as we move in tonight, it's going to be really pretty cold up north, 28 in Billings. That's definitely way too cold for me, even though I am from the Midwest. But it's definitely going to be really, really cold up there in the north. So definitely just make sure to bring your winter coat, bring your winter jacket, things like that. Again, it's going to stay pretty warm down here in Florida like we normally expect. But yeah, just watch out for those super, super cold temperatures if you are in the north. And as we kind of move into tomorrow, like we kind of mentioned, it's going to be a little bit stormy down here in Florida. We're also going to possibly see some snow in Colorado, Denver. It's going to possibly snow. So just be on the lookout for any of those winter advisories, any of that winter weather, anything like that if you do live in one of those colder regions. But again, it's going to be pretty beautiful tomorrow down here in the southeast in terms of temperatures. However, again, it is going to rain. So yeah, just kind of be prepared for that if you guys have any sort of plans. But now we're going to go ahead and pass it off to Daniela at a look at our southeast.
Yes, thank you, Sloan. So yeah, across the southeast, again, the sun is down, but we are having some overcast skies. We see across Orlando, Charleston, and Charlotte. Atlanta, a little bit more clear, but we are pretty mild right now in the mid to upper 70s in some places. We get Charlotte, of course, a little luckier than the rest of us at 68 degrees. And a lot of the southeast, much as we have already seen, is staying above average. We have 84 in Tallahassee right now, 74 in Nashville. A little bit cooler in Charlotte again, 68. We even see 69 in Little Rock, and again, mid to upper 70s across the rest of the southeast, staying pretty consistent. But then also these dew points are staying fairly high right now. We're getting dew points in the 70s, even 76 in Miami. We're seeing 73 all the way in New Orleans. A little bit drier as the farther we go north, but as we have a front approaching the southeast, as well as some tropical moisture, we are going to see higher dew points for the next couple of days. And with these warmer temperatures, it is going to feel a lot muggier than what we are used to for November especially. So giving a look at our current radar, we see again some of this line of showers and storms ahead of a front that is approaching eastward into the southeast region. But we also have some tropical moisture brewing in the Gulf of Mexico that's going to be shifted northward from Tropical Storm Raphael, bringing a lot of rain to the Florida Panhandle and parts of Georgia in the next couple of days. And we can take a look, put this into motion for our future radar. Going into tomorrow, we're going to see some of that tropical moisture push up into the Tallahassee, Big Bend, and South Georgia region, and moving forward into the rest of the night, that will continue to move more farther north, bringing a chance for those showers and storms, possibly even a flash flood risk due to all of the dry weather we have had and the lack of rain we've had in the past month. So for tonight's forecast, we're going to be pretty mild. We might have actually some record warm lows in parts of the southeast tonight. 75 forecast in Tallahassee, 68 in Montgomery. We will see some showers possible throughout the night tonight. And going into tomorrow, thankfully it won't be as warm. We're going to see a lot of the upper 70s, with the exception of Tampa at 88, but much of Florida, we even see Key West, 84. We're going to see some tropical storm conditions down there as well as Raphael approaches the Key West area. But most of the southeast is going to see some rain, finally some relief, as we have had quite a drought in the last month or so. But the downside to that is a lot of heavy rain is possible in a short amount of time. So we can anticipate flash flood watches and warnings to be issued out tomorrow and into the coming days. So as we take a look here into Tropical Storm Raphael, this is, again, November. We still have a month left of hurricane season about.
I thought hurricane season ended November 1st.
Did it? Maybe it did. I'm so sorry. Yeah, you know.
I might be wrong though.
I might be crazy today, guys. It's been a long day.
Days, yeah.
It really has, but she's probably right. Yeah, so we still have the possibility of hurricanes even after hurricane season. So.
Yes, yeah, and that really just goes to show how active this season really has been. There's been
lots of warm water over in the Atlantic and especially the Gulf, and really just a lot of fuel for these storms to fire up. But now, currently, Raphael is located southeast of Cuba, and it's going to make landfall over Cuba very soon, but still, I think, at a tropical storm category. So nothing too crazy yet, but Cuba will be feeling those impacts very shortly.
Yeah, so right now it's forecasted, it's right now just east of the Cayman Islands, expected to make impact on Cuba, possibly as a high-end tropical storm, low-end Category 1 hurricane by tomorrow night. And it's going to shift north-northwestward, and it's really due to a ridge we have is going to determine the direction for the rest of the week, which is why the cone is expanded so much towards, once we see towards the weekend, it's expanded out due to the uncertainty because of the other factors that are going to play into its track and intensity.
Yeah, exactly. And with Raphael, this storm is really bringing a lot of water vapor into the southeast, and that's something that we've been missing a lot of over the last several weeks, especially here in Tallahassee. It's been really very dry, and with that storm is when we're going to start to be feeling rain, and rain just from the moisture that's in the air, not even necessarily from the storm itself. But just something to keep in mind as we go throughout the next couple of days.
Yeah, and as we take a look into our spaghetti models, a lot of them are pretty on track with staying on the northwestward track towards Louisiana, Mississippi coastline. However, that is, of course, always subject to change. We have a few outliers, of course, but most of it's staying pretty centralized towards Louisiana.
Yeah, that's right. So really, if you're in those Louisiana, Mississippi areas, make sure to complete your preparations as soon as possible. Hurricanes are no joke, especially in this time of year. So definitely keep that in mind as you're going throughout your next couple of days. Stock up, make sure you have a plan ready, and make sure your family is accounted for.
Yeah, so there's a lot to look to see in the next coming days to see what happens and what these conditions are going to bring to the Louisiana Gulf, or really just the Gulf Coast in general.
Yeah, exactly. So now we're going to toss it back over to the wall to take one last look at our local forecast. So Doak Campbell Stadium right now looking pretty cloudy, and you know, we had our time change this past weekend, and it's making things really dark outside. So don't get too down. It's going to cool down soon enough, hopefully. Currently, it's sitting at 82 degrees, so it's definitely very toasty right now. A little cloudy, just some calm winds. Nothing too crazy out there right now, but it is hot, and today was definitely a scorcher. But local radar is currently showing just a little bit of precip into the Big Bend of Florida. We're seeing a lot of those storms mostly concentrated around the southern parts of the Gulf of Mexico, but nothing too much here in our area right now to worry about. However, current temperatures across the region are sitting pretty much in agreement around the general mid-70s, so pretty comfortable, but not as cold as we would like to see as we go into the overnight hours when we like to see that cool down. However, that is attributed to these high levels of water vapor in the air right now that are definitely keeping us very, very humid. But as we head into the overnight, it's going to be 76 here in Tallahassee, which is a pretty warm pretty warm low for us, all things considered. But heading into tomorrow, as we've been talking about, it's going to be raining pretty much all day long, pretty moderate temperatures, so definitely make sure you have your raincoat and you are watching out for any puddles. Definitely don't want to be tripping. As for our haircast, again, it's going to be pretty humid, so you might have some waves in your hair if you need to. Bring out the hairspray. It's definitely going to be that time over the next couple of days. And into tomorrow, highs are roughly around the upper 70s, but hopefully we won't be breaking past that 80-degree point, which I know will be definitely a relief for all of us. So heading into the week ahead, definitely going to rain tomorrow and most likely Thursday as well, but it's going to clear up and hopefully cool down as we head into early next week with some highs in the lower 80s and our lows finally dipping back into the 60s. So make sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, subscribe to us on YouTube, and also follow us on TikTok. We are there, and maybe you might see a new TikTok from us very soon because we've got one of those brewing as well. But thank you so much for watching us here live on YouTube. We're here every weekday at 6:30. So
I'm student meteorologist Priscilla Vijalta, and have a great night.